So this is our Samsung fridge, and it's not stopped producing ice. So the ice maker had failed. Basically just the ice bucket was completely empty. It was actually after we'd been away for a week and had left the ice maker turned on, but maybe that's a coincidence in hindsight. But so it just simply didn't start producing, or wasn't producing ice as it should. So this particular model, the ice maker is up at the top here on the left, and there's an ice bucket which has a catch on the side and simply pulls out. So this is what's inside here. There's the actual ice maker itself is up the top in this case, and the drive motor for dispensing the ice and crushing it and so on is down the bottom down here. And as it turns out, this comes out relatively easily. There's a tab here, and if you press that, it disengages from the fridge itself, and the whole ice maker can just be pulled back. It's located with two sort of buttons at the top which slide into keyhole slots on the ice maker, and it pulls back and then just drops down and out. I also took the motor out, but in that case there's a little tab here which if you pull that again, the whole thing will just slide out. Before you do either of those things though, there's a small screw here. If you take that off, this whole panel drops out and or lifts off rather, and there's a loom, wiring loom from either device. So yeah, to get the thing out, first thing to do is to take this screw out. Phillips head screw. With that out, this panel just lifts off and out. It's got a little retainer at the end, a little clip there that just clips behind the inside of the fridge, and then you've got these two wiring looms and two connectors. So this front one is the one that goes up to the ice maker, and the other one goes to the drive motor at the back. I did take the drive motor out and simply unplug these, and in this case there's a latch at the back here, and that one just pulls right out as a complete unit. It turns out there's a simple mains powered motor inside and a gearbox reduction, so there's not a lot in there, although there is obviously some kind of sensor as well behind this little pip on the front. But you don't need to take these three screws out, those just hold the motor and gearbox into the plastic housing. So the plastic housing, the entire unit will just pull out in one piece, which is good. Quite nice design really. As I say, for the ice maker itself, you just again disconnect the connector here, pull the wiring loom to one side, and so just use this tab to release it, and then just pull the whole thing forward. It catches slightly on this piece here, but just keep trying, just keep pulling and it'll come out. Having looked at a few other YouTube videos, I realised that there is a test button here that actually says test switch, and this little blue button, they say press that and it will reset the ice maker. So I tried that. Certainly you press and hold, and the fridge makes a squeak, a little chime, but that didn't make any difference at all in my case, so I'm not entirely sure what that reset actually means, but so it is something which you can do. I say it says test switch, but when you press it and you get the chime, nothing happens. You think it might go through a cycle or something, but yeah, no idea really. Anyway, I gave that a try and it didn't help at all. It still wasn't producing any ice. So I did also check that the water's coming out of the water outlet here. There's ice and water you can select, and sure enough water was flowing, so water was getting to the fridge. As a matter of interest, turns out that the water supply to here, but the water side rather than the ice, actually comes through the hinge. The solenoid valve around the back can divert water to either the water here or ice maker, and the ice maker comes in over the top, as we've just seen, but the water supply goes through the solenoid valve assembly and actually comes up through the hinge and into the door and down, which I guess they had to do it that way, but yeah, that's the way it works. So this is the replacement ice maker. If you buy the complete module, 130 quid without shipping. It seems to be a sort of generic model that's fitted on a module rather that's fitted on many different Samsung fridges. The part number is DA97-07592B, and I've seen other YouTube videos where this exact same part number is fitted across the door rather than along the side of the fridge as ours is. So I would say it depends on the model, but the most common one, certainly on YouTube, is with this fitted across the door with a sort of big ice bucket across, fitted underneath. Good to be able to get the part anyway, even though it has to be in one module and it's quite expensive, but at least it's easy to remove the old one and swap in this one. Basically you just need to undo one screw and this one connector. So this is the ice maker partly disassembled, and it's quite clever unit really. It's got this motor on the back, synchronous motor by the looks of it, and probably gearbox built into it, but that rotates this shaft, which does a 360-degree turn whenever it dispenses the ice from the cooler. This is obviously the loom that plugs into the fridge, but this grey part, these are sort of semicircular troughs in here, and obviously the water is dispensed into the top, which actually comes in through this hole here. So that round tube from the top of the fridge is above here and just dispenses water into there via the solenoid valve, and that just drops into this area here and fills it up. I don't know how they detect the level, but they must do somehow. Unless it's just on time, but I doubt it. Anyway, so that then freezes, of course. Once it's decided that it's frozen, underneath there's a heater here, which just warms it up enough to release the ice. Once it's done that, this does its full 360 turn and just scoops the ice out and pushes it over the side. There's the back of this cover is on here, and there's a curved surface here, so the ice is sort of plucked out, diverted round via this cover, and then dropped into the ice bucket on this side. So I'd say quite a neat arrangement. The other thing, of course, is this arm here, which is obviously pushed up by the ice in the bucket, so that knows when it's full. Here's the test button, by the way. It's got a sort of rubber silicone membrane on it to keep the water out, but it obviously presses a switch on this little PCB, so I'm not entirely sure what that does. So apart from making the fridge chime, nothing happens basically when you press it. I said it certainly didn't cure the problem that we were having. So before going to the expense of buying the replacement module, I did check the water supply, and the water actually comes in to the ice maker around the back. There's this hose here, tube, comes up the back into this area. This lifts off with one screw, I think. Yes, this screw. That is a cover plate. Underneath there, there's a little plastic part that has a vertical tube and a 90-degree bend and a threaded connector, which just takes the this small tube. So basically, the small tube just comes straight in, ends up in the top of a quite large diameter tube. It just drops down vertically about 100 mil, and that sits immediately above the ice maker. So I checked that, and it was all clear, and it wasn't iced up, for example, or clogged or anyway. And the same for the plastic tube. That's absolutely fine. Down the bottom, there's a solenoid valve behind this cover. I looked at that as well. I obviously didn't take it out or anything, but there's no obvious sign that it had burnt out or anything. So I left that and hoped for the best. So yeah, all back together and working. So good result really. But I decided to check the water first to make sure that was getting to the ice maker at all. And tried the test button on the ice maker, no dice. But swapping out the whole unit has fixed the problem. Also gave me a chance to clean out the evaporator on the back, which was indeed very dusty. So I took that cover off the back and cleaned all that out. So hopefully the fridge is running better now, more efficiently. And so the ice maker's working again, so it's all good. Thanks for watching.